let's talk more about this Venezuelan gang violence in Aurora, Colorado. If you haven't heard, a Venezuelan gang, according to the mayor of Aurora, Mike Kaufman, has seized control over several apartment complexes. You may or may not have seen this video that brought it to national attention. Luckily, it has. It shows men walking into an apartment complex, heavily armed. You can see them. They are literally just walking around with what looks like semi-automatic guns in their hands through the building. Just great, right? I'm sure that is the America you all envision us living in. But this is what happens since Biden and Harris took 89 executive actions to dismantle Trump's border policies in their first year. That's what they did. So just to sort through some of these details here, there's some debate between the mayor and what the police department in Aurora is putting out. The mayor is saying on record, point blank, areas of the city have been taken over by the gangs. And then you have the interim chief of police, Heather Morris, saying this. We've been talking to the residents here and learning from them to find out what is exactly going on, and there's definitely a different picture. I'm not saying that there's not gang members that don't live in this community, but what we're learning here is that the gang members have not taken over this apartment complex, said Chief Morris. So do we really think that the people who are living in these apartment complexes whose lives are being threatened by this, these men walking around the building with guns in their hands, do you think they're going to tell police, hey, yeah, they took us over, I'll rat them out? They're going to be killed if they say anything. That's how gangs operate. And here's the real thing. Aurora didn't even want this problem in the first place. So if you think your town is immune to this, you are wrong. Obviously, no city wants this, but the mayor says they took steps to try and avoid this very thing from happening. They wanted nothing to do with this. Here's Kaufman on the local news in Denver.
The city of Aurora took a position early on that we were not going to participate in the migrant crisis. We were not going to provide taxpayer support, and we were not even going to be a conduit for federal dollars to come in to provide assistance. This is not our problem. This is a problem created by the federal government at the border with bad policy. And so it's the federal government that needs to solve this problem, not the city of Aurora.
They couldn't stop it. How can you? Denver, which Aurora is a suburb of, is a hotbed for migrants. And here's what they get when you arrive to Denver. Quote, 6 months of housing assistance, in-depth workforce training, and food assistance while they await legal work authorization. That, to me, sounds like an open invitation. In fact, the mayor says he doesn't even know how these people showed up in his city. Someone somehow appears to have deliberately put them there.
I believe that these people just didn't go there on their own. I think somebody put them there, and I'm trying to find out right now.
I've also said on this program time and time again, if you think that illegal migrants are going to just stay inside of these sanctuary cities, you're crazy. And Aurora is just an example of that very thing. The Venezuelan gangs have now made their way into the suburbs. So what's next? Your quaint little small town? Probably. That's probably what's going to happen. That's how this works. The gangs, they want turf. They keep going. And you know how many cities are just like mid-sized Aurora in the United States? A lot. They sit just outside of major cities, which have adopted the sanctuary city status. So don't think anyone should be surprised. We shouldn't think anyone should be surprised when we hear about this happening again in the very near future. And obviously, not everyone coming here intends to do harm. They want a better life. I get that. But this is why you need to have a secure border and not just let anyone who shows up inside of it. We're sacrificing parts of our cities to gangs in order to accommodate woke border ideology. And the mayor in Aurora said it himself.
Unlike immigration that we've had in the past in our Venezuelan community that has been here, where they had sponsors, where they had family members, where they came, they had resources, they were educated. I mean, here we're getting people that just poured over the border.
They just poured over the border and set up shops. Now they're in the suburbs. Venezuelan gangs, wonderful.